From the bustling marketplaces of first-century Palestine to the quiet corners of countless hearts today, the question of Yeshua's true nature has echoed throughout history. Was he simply a gifted teacher, a radical prophet, or, as the early believers proclaimed, was he something more, the very embodiment of Yahweh, God himself, walking among us? This question, far from a mere theological puzzle, lies at the heart of the Christian faith. The confusion surrounding Yeshua's deity is understandable. How could God, the creator of the universe, take on human form? How could he, the one to be worshipped alongside his creation? These are questions that have puzzled theologians for centuries. Yet, the scriptures, when read carefully and with an understanding of their historical context, offer a compelling portrait of Yeshua as both fully God and fully human. The path to understanding Yeshua's true identity requires careful navigation through the scriptures. We must delve into passages that speak of his deity, address claims that he rejected worship, and ultimately grapple with the implications of his life, death, and resurrection. Only then can we begin to grasp the awe-inspiring truth of who he truly is. One passage that speaks powerfully to Yeshua's divinity is 1 Timothy chapter 3 verse 16. And without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness. God was manifested in the flesh, justified in the spirit, seen of angels, preached unto the Gentiles, believed on in the world, received up into glory. This verse, while brief, encapsulates the core of the Christian claim, that in Yeshua the invisible God became visible, the intangible became tangible. The phrase God was manifested in the flesh is a bold statement, leaving little room for ambiguity. It points to a reality where the infinite God took on the limitations of humanity, dwelling among us in the person of Yeshua. This concept, known as the Incarnation, is central to understanding the Christian faith. This understanding of Yeshua as God is further reinforced throughout the Gospels. In Matthew chapter 2 verse 11, the Magi, guided by a star, come to worship the newborn King, acknowledging his divine status from infancy. In Matthew chapter 28 verse 9, the women who encounter the resurrected Yeshua held him by the feet and worshipped him. This act of worship directed towards the risen Messiah speaks volumes about the early disciples' understanding of his true nature. Yet some argue that Yahshua himself rejected worship, pointing to passages like John chapter 17 verses 15 to 19, where he prays for his disciples to be protected from the evil one. However, a closer examination of this passage reveals that Yeshua is not rejecting worship outright, but rather praying for his followers' spiritual protection and unity in a hostile world. He distinguishes between the world and his followers, highlighting their unique relationship with the Father through him. Furthermore, passages like Luke chapter 24 verses 51 to 53 depict the disciples worshiping Yeshua after his resurrection. If he were merely a human prophet, such an act would be blasphemous. Yet, the scriptures consistently portray worship of Yeshua as a natural response to his divine authority and power. John chapter 9 verses 36 to 38 provides another compelling example. After healing a man born blind, Yeshua asks him, "Dost thou believe on the Son of God?" The man, recognizing Yeshua's divine power, responds, "Lord, I believe," and worships him. This act of worship is met not with rebuke but with acceptance, further solidifying the understanding that Yeshua is worthy of worship. The evidence from Scripture points overwhelmingly to the deity of Yeshua. He is portrayed not merely as a great teacher or prophet but as the very embodiment of Yahweh, God in human flesh. Passages that seem to contradict this understanding must be interpreted within the broader context of Scripture and Yeshua's mission to reconcile humanity to God. The implications of this truth are profound. If Yeshua is truly God, then worshiping him is not only acceptable but essential. He is not a rival to Yahweh but rather the perfect revelation of the Father's love and grace. In John chapter 20 verse 28, Thomas, upon encountering the risen Yeshua, exclaims, "My Lord and my God." This declaration encapsulates the heart of the Christian faith, that in Yeshua, we encounter the one true God, and he is worthy of our worship and adoration.